Hi. First time on YouTube Live. Right, okay. Let's get people to know I am here, right? How do we do that? Welcome. Come join me on YouTube. All right, one person's here. Yay! One person's here. Let me know who that person is. One person is here. How does the live chat work here? Yay! Thank you for joining. Please let me know in the comment section who you are, where you're joining us from, what year group your child is in. 3 people! Yes! Welcome to my first YouTube Live. Yes, I'm so excited. All right. Thank you for joining. Let me know in the comment section what year you're joining us. What year? You're not a student. What part of the country you're joining us from, and what year group your child is in. Yes, the Doncaster family. I know who you are. Yes, we have London people in the house. Then is Tosi joining from Bedford. Children in year 9 and year 4. Hi, Tosi. There's Tess joining us from Liverpool. Umu join us from the Doncaster family. What's going on? There's a lot of you here tonight. It's nice to have you all here tonight. I'm super excited. You know, the light is lightning, the screen is popping. I'm just super excited, really. And because I got this YouTube live to work as well, like I had to get some help from my one and only sister. You know who you are. So thank you for helping me out. Maureen is joining us from Burgess Hill, and she has a child in year 3. Lovely. So without further ado, I'm going to get started. Share this with your friends who you think would benefit from this. All right. Don't keep all of this nice stuff to yourself. No, share with other parents that you think would benefit from this. So today we're going to be talking about scholarships, how to get fully funded scholarship, 100% in certain cases, scholarship for your child's school. Now, I got a question on Facebook, and the question was, Tutu, is this for just primary or just secondary? And my answer was, it's for both, right? It is for both. So let me start. So there's two main topics I want to discuss today. There are two main topics that I want to touch base on. The first one is scholarships, and the second one is called bursaries. And there's a difference between the two of them. So we have scholarship and we have bursary. So I'm going to tell you the difference between two of them. Okay, nice to have you all here. It's nice to see you. Those of you just joining us, let us know where you're joining us from and what year group your child is in. So a bursary, we'll start with a bursary. A bursary is a means tested financial assistance given to help support a family who wouldn't otherwise be able to afford some or all of the school fees. That's bursary. Is a mean tested financial assistance given to family who can't afford to send their children to private school. Let me know in the comment section if you understand that. Please, thumbs up, let me know. And the scholarship, on the other hand, is a reward for outstanding achievement and talent of the child. So can you see the difference now? It's like the child can get scholarship based on their achievement on certain areas. So that's the difference between bursary and scholarship. Now, with bursaries, let me just put it out here. With bursaries, if you're a high income earner, is unlikely your child is going to get a bursary, right? Because the whole point of bursary is to support those who are from low income background. A lot of times single parents might be able to qualify because they do the family income together. And even if a single parent is a high earner, well, certain, it depends on what bracket the school has put on it, you might still be able to qualify because you might just be under, your wage might just be under the cap. So it's really important you check with each school, and each school differs from the other, right? Each school differs from the other. So some schools I've seen before that they said if your combined income, so both dad and mom, is over 70 grand per annum, then you will not qualify for the bursary. Okay. Preta is joining us from London. She has a child in year 3. April Life is joining us and dancing. Thank you for joining us. Lydia is here. She said yes. Also, that means she understood the difference between a bursary and a scholarship. Fantastic. So now we said scholarship is a reward of outstanding achievement. So we have certain areas of achievement that a child can get a scholarship on. And again, the criteria for each school differs. So you will, as a parent, unfortunately, you're not going to get all the information from me today because there's so many different independent schools, right? But I'm going to give you the common general information. But for each individual school, you need to go onto their page, their website page, to know exactly what they are looking for. All right. Let me know if you have any questions in the chat and I'll be able to answer you. Nika is from Manchester. She has a 4-year-old, but she's always joining all my live videos. I love you, Nika. Thank you so much for always joining. And we have Ungonwa, who's from MK, all the way from Milton Keynes, and she has children in reception and nursery. Mama, you've got your hands full. Okay, so let's dig into scholarship. Do you now understand bursary? So bursary, there would normally be a form on their website, and they will say that would be the initial application, and they'll ask you to fill the form for bursary. If you can't find it on their website, just call them up. They'll ask you to fill a form, but be ready to declare everything. They will probably most likely ask for your bank statement, your pay slip. They would want to know that you definitely qualify for assistance. Also, it might not just be enough for you just to say, I'm a low income earner. A child might have to do certain exams, although it's not always the case, certain exams. So again, each school differs from one to the other. So now let's go into scholarship and the different areas that your child can get scholarship. So the very first one that I'm going to talk to you about is academic scholarship. This is the point where you start to take notes. Lydia, what about twins? Can both of them get either a scholarship or bursary? Absolutely. In fact, some schools, this is a very good question, Lydia. Some schools would give sibling scholarship. So sort of discount because you have more than one child registered, especially for scholarship. For bursary, I don't know. Again, the school will have limited funding on their bursary. So it's not like limitless that they can send everybody and give everybody free scholarship. So it all depends on how many people have actually applied, how many for that particular school can they take from one family, and all those things. So you'd need to check with the school, but it's possible to have that for some schools. So the very first one is the academic scholarship. And for this one, again, the entry level differs. Some people will be able to give you scholarship when your child starts from year 7 based on academic. And some, it's year 9. Year 9 is the minimum. So those of you who still have children in year 6, year 5 right now, check with the school that you're looking for. Obviously, if you're looking for an independent school, I'm hoping it will be somewhere local to you. If you want your child to go to a day school, however, a lot of independent school are also boarding school. So are you ready to send your child to boarding school? Me, I only have one. So she's going nowhere. So, but boarding schools, boarding independent school tend to be more expensive because obviously they're going to pay for their accommodation, their feeding, and everything. So imagine getting scholarships to boarding school for your child. But I've been told they're very fantastic, good boarding schools. In fact, some of them, I heard some of the schools talk and some of their previous students talk, and it's nothing like, especially for Nigerian parents on the live today, is nothing like the boarding school in Nigeria. These children are well looked after. Just do your research. So the academic scholarship, some of them will say they'll take them from year 9, some of them will say they'll take them from year 7, and some of them will say from 6th form. So again, if you're one of those parents that your child didn't have an opportunity to go to a grammar school or an independent school for their secondary school education, it's not too late. Because why? They can still go to a grammar school or an independent school for their 6th form. So now there are, for some schools, they have major and minor scholarships. What do we mean by major scholarships? Some of them, their major scholarship goes up to 30%. So the highest the discounts they will give you on the school fees is like 30%, right? But this is the good news. You can combine both bursary and scholarship together. And for some, and not a lot, for some, they will be able to get 100% scholarship. And so what fees are we looking at here? I'm just giving you an average. Again, each school differs from one school to the other. So you're looking at like £5,000 per term, and there are 3 terms in a year. So for some private schools, 15,000 a year. So imagine now getting 30% off from that, right? 10% is 1,500. Times that by 3, 4,500 already removed from the child's tuition fee through scholarship. Now, there is also minor scholarships, and that could only go up to 15%. All right. So it depends on what the criteria they've set for each. Now, I'll give you an example of a school, and the school was saying that for a child to be able to get the major scholarship in the year 12, that the child must have all grade 8. Let me know in the comment section who knows what grade 8 is here. What equivalent is grade 8? Is it B? Is it C? Is it E? Is it F? Let me know in the comment section. So they want the child, for the child to be able to get a major scholarship, they want the child to achieve grade 8 and 9 in all of their GCSEs. They can't have anything less than grade 8 or 9 in all the subjects. Okay, somebody said B, somebody said A star. Now 8 is an A star. You're right, Lydia. 8 is an A star, right? 8 is an A star. And 9 is actually only 5% of the whole country get allocated grade 9, because that means they did so well. And so the top 5% get allocated grade 9. Grade 7 is actual an A, is an actual A. So to get a major scholarship, they're saying we want all 8s. Now we know what kind of standard we're looking for academic achievements, or 9s. Now to get a minor scholarship, they're saying, okay, you can get all 7s, but that means you would only get the minor scholarship, and 7 is an A. Right? So you need to look at the criteria for each school. So some schools, they say from year 9, they can take students on their scholarships, but the child would have to write the common entrance exam, which is very similar to the 13 plus exam. We prepare students for the 13 plus exam at Technics Academy. We prepare them for the independent school exam at Technics Academy. Multiple students of ours have received scholarships, right? Okay, so it all depends on, especially if you see that the child is very, very able, you can strategically prepare them for the exam to be able to gain scholarship. Now, some independent schools, they're combined. They have both primary and secondary. So their kids, their students who started from primary, they just infeed them into their secondary. However, I remember I said it's from year 9, some schools will be able to take scholarship application. That scholarship application is both applicable to current students of the school as well as outsiders. So again, the children will sit an exam. So they will have a cutoff mark, they will have a certain grade that the child has to get to be able to receive scholarship. But my rule of thumb is always you want your child to be on 85% or above, right? 85% or above. So any question before we move on? So we talked about academic scholarship, right? So if there's no question, I'm going to move on to the next scholarship that your child can get, which is the music scholarship. So the music scholarship is the next one. So again, for this one, there's also major, there's minor for each section of the scholarship, but this is based on the children using instruments, musical instruments, the children being part of an orchestra. For some schools, the children being part of a choir. Again, they'll tell you what instruments to use. Is it the string instrument? Is it piano? And whatever instrument the children are using, they have to have done certain grade exams on those instruments. So I'll give you an example. So I remember when Michelle was in year 3, we went to an independent school and we said, oh, okay, can we go, because Michelle plays the piano, and said, can we get on the music scholarship? And what they said was she has to be on grade 3. She has to have done a piano grade 3 exam to be able to get to be able to even apply for the scholarship, because they're not even going to look at the scholarship. So imagine that. And I'm thinking by then she was like 8. So imagine grade 3. So that means you have to have started your child early on some of these instruments. So for you that your children are still very young, maybe those in reception, those in preschool, you can start now, because the kind of levels that they're expecting the child to be on is very, very high. And it would only be possible for parents who started their children very, very early. So you can be very strategic about it from a very early age. You probably would apply for scholarship. You look for instrument that your children have interest in. That's very important. That's significant, because if you put them in something that they don't enjoy, they're not going to excel in it. So again, you might have to test them on different areas to be able to see what they like and what they enjoy. Are there academic scholarship available at primary school level? So I've just given you an example. Yes, but not for all schools. In fact, some private schools don't even have primary schools. They only have secondary. So, and those who have primary, again, it depends on them. So this particular school, the only scholarship they had for primary was the music scholarship. And the music scholarship is either the child is playing an instrument and would have done up to grade 3 instrument exam. All right. And those exams, you have to sign them up. You have to get private tutor for them to teach them the instruments, and you have to sign up for the exam. You have to pay for the exam out of your own pocket. Right. So and then they also said that she can get scholarship based on being a member of the choir. Now, the member of the choir, they didn't say she had to have any significant talent or anything. They just said the spaces are very limited. They told us there was one space available, right? And they were happy to give Michelle a chance for the one space available. However, by the time they listed what Michelle was going to be doing, I had a discussion with her and we decided it was not the best idea, because and some schools, if your child doesn't stick to those regulations or instructions, they will pull out the scholarship and you have to pay back. That's another thing. Oh, yes. If your child gets scholarship, most scholarship will run for this. For some, again, you have to check with the school. Don't just take what I say and just run with it. For some schools, once your child gets the scholarship like this, they're getting it for the entire years, the years they're going to spend in school. But if they misbehave, or they have a very bad misconduct, or they get expelled, or they do something very, very bad, they will withdraw the scholarship, and wait, you will pay everything back. You will pay everything that the scholarship that they gave you, you pay it back. So it's very important. So anyway, one of the criteria they stated for the choir was that every weekend she was going to be coming to the cathedral. She was going to be singing. After school, she will sing. In the morning, before school starts, we will send her in for 3 days a week. She will have to be singing. Hey, I said, Michelle, are you sure you can commit to this? It's really strenuous. These are the kind of choir that they sometimes pick to go and sing for the royal family. Imagine. So imagine the standards. But they were willing to give us the scholarship. Can you imagine? But me, myself, I know the daughter I have, right? The person that normal school time, I'll be dragging her to wake up in the morning. Is that the one I'll go and sign up for choir? So you have to be realistic with yourself and with your child. You know your child more than anybody else. So don't put your child in a situation where they find it too hard or they can't cope with it. So is there any question? What about reception children? I don't, again, it depends on the school, but the few schools I know, they don't really give scholarship for reception, because please, based on what are they going to give that scholarship? But they would most likely give bursary if you're under the salary brackets, right? Okay, so let's move on to the next type of scholarship. The next type of scholarship is sports. So all the sports mamas, all the ones that you're always taking your children from one sports group to the other, team to the other, you can be strategic about some of these groups. Now, some of them will say, for us to consider scholarship, sports scholarship, your child should be playing at county level, right? So, you know, so if your child is interested in football and they're doing really well, they're interested in rugby and they're doing really well with the teams that you've signed them up outside, then make sure that you're also strategic about it and they're actually moving up. So even though Michelle enjoys piano, yes, she enjoys it and absolutely loves it, we're always preparing towards a grade exam every time. So yes, you're enjoying it, you're learning. So why not just take the next level exam? Why not top it up and stuff like that? And those applications, those kind of things as well, would also help university application in the future. So this is not even only for independent schools. Kim from Leeds, great to be here. I have a 3-year-old and 1-year-old. Moved to the UK 4 months back. Kim, you're in the right spot because you have very young children and you can start from now. You don't need to be telling the child it's because you want to go to independent school. That's why you have to read. No, you just know it deep down in your own heart and you prepare your child so that they're one step ahead. How do parents get their children one step ahead? Signing them up for tuition. Do you know that is the fifth time? We're only in May. And 5 times teachers have walked out on strike already this year in public schools. So you can't leave the government to decide how far your children can climb. Get that extra tuition for them to be able to get the support that they need without having to struggle or strive. So let's talk about, we talked about sports scholarship. All of them have major or minor. So it could be in cricket, hockey, netball, rowing, rugby, swimming. Again, it all depends on each school because some schools might not have those specific sports. But generally, those are the kind of scholarship. So if your child is really sporty and they're really into it, make sure they're in a team. Get in touch with the school. Find out what it is that they're looking for. Some will say they want it in county level or they want it in council level or whatever it is. That's true about the strikes. It's Tayo Alimi here. Hi, sis. There you go. Sis is a teacher in one of the mainstream schools. Tayo is a teacher, and yeah, we all know what it is. Teachers are frustrated. They work hours. Let me tell you something. When I was teaching in mainstream school, I'm diverting a little bit. When I was teaching in mainstream school, I sat down one day. I just said, let me work this thing out. They pay us salary. They don't pay us per hour. So that's why you think it's a lot of money. So I sat down. I calculated all the hours that I do. And if you're a teacher, you will know that teachers do it for passion. It's not the money, because the money, it doesn't equate to what the effort that the teachers put in. So I sat down. What are my hours? I calculated everything. I'll teach from the hours that I teach, from all the CPD meetings that we do, the department meetings, from the time I do break duty, after school duty. I then take home marking, respond. I just calculated everything. I found out that I was working at least 70 hours a week. And then I took my salary, divided it by that. I was only on £3 per hour base, but they will put 37 hours on your contracts, but there's no way you can finish that work in 37 hours, because those 37 hours is just to stand in front of the children and teach. All the other work that comes after it, we take half term, but teachers don't actually enjoy their half time because we're marking, we're grading, we're writing report. Hey, don't get me started on reports. Report takes so much time. So you can imagine the kind of place your child is in. Teachers that they're not appreciated, they're not paid well enough, they're the ones standing in front of your children and teach. They use the mentality of, you can't come and kill me, I didn't kill my own parents, or please, it's just how much are they paying me. That's not for all teachers, not for teacher like Tayo, but for a lot of teachers, more like less like, I'll do what I can do and just that's it. So you really need to think about the future for your children. As far as I'm concerned, I'm an immigrant parent, right? My child is the first generation immigrant child. So I did not come to UK to come and eat popcorn, right? I'm going to find opportunities for my child and put my child in places of where she can easily access those opportunities. I'm not going to be ignorant and say I did not know. I'm going to research, I'm going to check, I'm going to see how my children's life can actually be better than my own life, right? Okay, so let's move on to the next type. The next type is drama. If your child is sassy, they like to talk, they're confident, they're everything, just sign them up in a drama class outside. All of these things I'm talking about, all these scholarships, it's only a small percentage of students that will not need outside coaching and will still be able to get that scholarship. All of these different stages of scholarship, you need outside coaching for the children. So if they like drama, sign them up in a drama club. Aside even getting scholarship, drama clubs are fantastic, especially for parents whose children are very shy. It brings out the confidence in them. Trust me, if you have a very shy child and they're always hiding behind, they don't want to talk, they look down, they don't give eye contact, sign them up in a drama class outside, right? So the drama scholarship, they just want someone who is doing really well. Again, they have separate different things when you sign them up. I think one of the popular ones is Lambda. Lambda is quite good. And I think there's one in Medway, Razzmatazz. I think they actually have franchise all over. There's so many good drama clubs out there that you can sign your child up for. So again, they would need them to demonstrate a certain level of skill and talent. So something like, and it doesn't have to always involve them actually acting. It could be that, they're part of they should always be part of a presentation in the school. They should be very involved in any production that the school is doing. So something like, they might be a director on the stage, a technician, a stage manager. They might be the ones who is always making the show possible. They don't have to always be the one acting and dancing around, right? And they want to see that they're committed, they're reliable, they show up to rehearsals and stuff like that. So that's drama scholarship. Now, the next one is art scholarship. So again, if you have a very creative child, come on, do something about it. I know my niece, she's very creative. My niece Olivia is very creative. She's from a very early age, she started to draw. I said to her mom, sign her up in an art club. Again, outside of the school, put her in an area where she can excel in something she's already talented in, and she's doing extremely well. So for her, like instance now, if she works towards, all her mom needs to do is find one or two schools that has art scholarships and actually go in there on the scholarship evening and talk about what criteria are they looking for. And whatever the criteria is, she would then start to work with her child. So it might not be the next 3 years, 4 years, they apply for the scholarship, but at least they know exactly what goals they need to be working towards, and they can carefully get that done. So again, those are the categories of scholarships. So for me, I called my daughter and I said, okay, which one of these scholarships do you think you can fit in? Because the first thing was, I don't want to do this one. I don't want to do. I'm like, you have to do one. Who will pay 30%? Where would I get that from? Like, I was saying that. So we now went through each scholarship together. So I said, piano is good. You really like piano. She said, Mom, I enjoy piano, but I don't really think I want to go. I want to be competitive in it. I just like the fact that I enjoy it right now. Okay, I was listening. And then we were going through this list, and she said, okay, drama. I like drama, Mom. Okay, I said, okay, no problem. So she's currently doing her 11 plus right now, and she's doing so many other activities. So I've said, once you finish your 11 plus exam, we need you straight in a drama club, because she has interest in it. So go for the interest. Oh, Olivia's mom is here. I'm Olivia's mom, and I'll definitely do this. Thank you. Because I was thinking, okay, this second step that I haven't told you, I hope I remember to tell you, but thank God you're here. My son plays rugby and my daughter just started swimming. That swimming, just fast track them. Again, with the swimming, they move them up each grade. Just keep moving them up those grades. Move them up those grades. Find even outside swimming clubs that compete, if possible. The ones that go for county competitions, or they compete against another school. Just be very strategic about it. You're very late to April. You're very late. You watch the replay. So because we've talked about all the different categories of scholarships available, we've also talked about bursary. A lot of parents don't go and apply for bursary because they think they can never qualify, or they think it can never be them or their child. But I'm telling you right now that some students are getting 100% scholarship, fully funded. Some schools go up to 27,000, 30K a year, and some students are getting full scholarship. It's all about the fact that the parents took their time, did their research, know exactly what the expectations are, and work towards it strategically for your child. So all of those you parents who have 3-year-olds and 1-year-olds, this is the time to start early. That's where I laugh when we say we have classes for 2-year-olds, and some people say that's super early. Are you kidding me? Serena Williams started tennis at the age of 3. Look at where she is right now. Right. So when it comes to our children's education, we say we're too early. What do you mean they're too early? Some parents will come back to me and say, their dad said, for now, let them be children. Do you know that between the age 0 and 5, that's the most important time for your child's brain development? And if you miss certain opportunities in that age gap, you've missed we will not miss it in Jesus' name. We will not miss it for life in Jesus' name. But if you miss certain things between that age 0 to 5, because that age, their brains are like sponges. It takes things in, especially if they feel they enjoy. And that's why the early years classes, the preschool classes at Technics Academy, the Key Stage 1, is all based on learning through fun. You can even sit with your child and learn with them, right? So that's all those things that we do at Technics Academy. I've heard of Lambda and different scholarship. Fantastic. Labake, Shonuga. So that's it, guys. Just do your research. Why not? Why can't your child go to independent school? Why can't they get 30% 30%, what's it called, scholarship? Why can't they get 100% scholarship? But again, if you are a high earner, it's very unlikely that you will get bursary. All right, so be prepared for that. So, but there's still opportunities for your child to get a scholarship. If you're a single parent, even more reason why you should pursue this and look into how you can get that support for your child. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section. I think I've covered everything that I needed to cover. Now, if you want to know what are the best independent schools, because they're good independent schools as well, better than the other. If you want to know which are the best independent school in your area, just type it in, independent school around my area. And you might be one of those parents who doesn't mind your child going to a boarding school. So distance doesn't limit your child. So you can send your child You can send them off to boarding school. Some boarding schools, they will come home every 3 weeks. Every 3 weeks, you see your child. Don't worry. I just like left my child for 3 days on a school trip. I didn't die. She survived. I'm going to be sharing with you what she said when she came back on our Instagram page. So I didn't die. So for some parents, they're okay with it. But you can check the really top high independent schools out there, the ones that are super doing well and super performing well. Just Google them and that would come up. If you're a parent of a child who is in year 5 and will be writing the 11 plus exam this year, please look out on your local authority website, because the registrations have started opening. Not for all of them, but for some of them, the registrations have opened this year. This is my advice, right? If you can afford to send your child to an independent school, I use the word afford, and I've said this before. A parent asked me, what are your thoughts on independent school? I'm like, yeah, it's fantastic. Go for it. It's great. If you can afford it, you shouldn't be running every month to try and meet up. If you can't afford it, just stay clear. If you can't afford it, the next best option is grammar schools. Grammar schools are fantastic. Some grammar schools, 100% of their students do well, get great results. So again, either your child goes to independent school, grammar school, comprehensive school, they're all going to write the same national GCSE exam. So really think about it. And if you're not in the line of independent school right now, then really square down on grammar schools. Get those children into good schools. We haven't come to this country to eat popcorn, as in. Thank you so much for joining. I love you all. Thank you for coming to support me on my very first live on YouTube. Now, please let me go and eat good food. I have to prepare this one. I don't want my coach to tell me off. The coach is online right now. I already offended her because today I was so tired. I came in and I had Gary and Granotte. She just cut me off the phone. She's not talking to me right now. But thank you so much. Like and share. Yeah. Tricks. Like and share. Like and share. Like and share. Please. And subscribe, right? Is that what you say? Subscribe to my channel. Thank you. It was my first live on YouTube. Yes, Lydia. I'm so happy. Please don't block me. Please. April, please. Thank you, Adenike. So I am going to eat a good dinner tonight. It's pepper soup. Fish pepper soup. Thank you all so much for coming tonight. I love you all. Have a lovely evening. Enjoy the King's coronation this weekend. I hope you've gotten your ashwebi. It's onion pink. The color we chose is, if you haven't gotten your own, it's not too late. So we have good tailors that can sew for you. Thank you all so much for coming. Love you all. Have fun. Enjoy the time with the children this weekend. Bye, everybody. Bye. Onion pink. Yes. Tricks loves. Onion pink. Thank you. Bye. Thank you so much, guys, for coming. Thank you. Bye. Have a great evening. Bye.